Protest groups. Brown University in Rhode Island agreed to end their...
And the only reason that wouldn't be achieved is because of Hamas.
He's not the only one ramping up the pressure. Israel is still threatening to move on Rafah in southern Gaza despite U.S. opposition. And Hamas...
Well, Michelle, how confident is Blinken that a new deal can be reached?
He says it's achievable. Israel has put a strong proposal on the table, and it's up to Hamas, he says. But there are known in those videos last week, including Keith Siegel. His brother Lee described the video as a window of hope.
He broke down during that. And for me, actually, that...
And Blinken met up with some of them who were gathered outside.
A sizable portion of the population in the United States, depending on the survey, between 30 and 40% of adults believe that there are times when violence is justified to achieve your political aim. And that definition and that question that gets asked comes awfully close to the definition of terrorism. So we have 30 to 40 that at least cognitively are open to this idea that sometimes terrorism's okay. The good news is that that is more of a cognitive embrace. That's not actually the numbers that would go on to carry out an act of violence. But it doesn't take that many people to lead to violence and to lead to disruption in our communities. And we still have a number of people in our country. We have churches, conservative influencers who are actively saying in this election season that they should be prepared for violence. And when we have our politicians churning that kind of rhetoric out, it does create a very...
Radicalized. How do they recognize that?
So radicalization is not a linear process. You could have an individual that meets the definition at some point and then jumps back to an earlier stage in the process. And trying to figure out where somebody is in that process actually can become kind of important, because if they are just recently exposed to an idea stage when somebody has
Escondido.